Hello, this is just a short introduction video on how to tie a 4-string Chotki. So first you want to start off with the material you want to use, or that I'll be using today, is rat tail. This is 1.5 millimeter rat tail. You can use that, or 2 millimeter would probably be the best sizes for a bracelet Chotki, which is what I'll be showing today. So you start off by cutting 4 pieces of string, approximately anywhere between 4 to 5 feet each one, and probably the best for, you want to go a little bit longer if you're a beginner, so you make sure you have enough to finish it off, but as you get better you can use about, I don't know, 4 feet and a couple extra inches, just to make sure you have enough room for your fingers. I have big fingers, so you want to start with that. You tie a slip knot, and I can show you how to do that. So yeah, we'll move on to the second part. Alright, so we go ahead and we start off with our slip knot. Make sure your at least one side is all matched up. I try to do that, all 4 strings at the same side. And then about about a fourth of the way up the string, I'll go ahead and make the slip knot. So you just kind of take it around 2 fingers and pull it through, pull it tight, so you have that slip knot just to hold the ropes together. You want to make sure you leave enough room on this end that you can make a few knots on this side, but you can't add to it once you start making knots. So you want to make sure you have enough room when we get to the pinwheel stage, so you have enough on this side. So we'll go ahead and turn to the longer side. What you want to do is spread all 4 of the strings out so that you can see them. And we have, and this is my friendly helper here, Scout. She's very adept at tying Chotki knots, so she's here to help us today. What you want to do is spread out all 4 strings, just like this, so they're not crossed over, and you're going to transfer the strings to your left hand, and you want one to go in front of your thumb, one between your thumb and your forefinger, and one between your first and middle finger, and then the last one between your second and third finger. So it looks just like this. So the basic step to remember is that you always want to go underneath and around the finger. So first we're going to take this first string right here. We're going to pick it up and we're going to go underneath this right here and around the first finger. And then we go to our second string, which is between our first and and of course Scout's doing acrobatics over there. Between our first and our thumb and our first finger, we have a string now just kind of hanging out. We take that string, we go over the string that's closest to our first finger, so pull that out straight. So take the one between the thumb and the first finger, go over the first string and go under the second string, just like that, and then you come around your middle finger. Okay, so that leaves there's an open string between your first and second finger. So you'll take that, you go over the string closest to your middle finger like this, and then you go under the second string, go under, and then you pull it around your third finger and let it drop. So it looks just like this. And so last, you have one between your second and your third finger here. You're going to take that and you're going to come around your third finger, pull it forward, and then we want this to come up. We're going to go in front of the first finger. So you can either thread it up through, or I like to just make a little loop and pull it up with my finger like this. And then you want to drop this string between your first finger and your thumb, just like that. So it's starting to look like a knot, right? Our next step, we're going to look on the back side of our hand. We'll see that there's these 2 loops here. We want to maybe kind of pull some of our strings, get everything nice and tight. And what we're going to do is on the second and third finger, we're going to pull the string that's right next to the loop right up through the loop. So going from the knuckle on your hand up to the knuckle on the finger, pull it straight up. Okay, you can do that again over here on the third finger. And then, so once we do that on those two fingers, we'll turn and we have a string hanging between our third finger and our pinky finger. So we'll pull that around the pinky, and then up between this hole here next to the thumb. So pull it around the pinky and up between the hole next to the thumb, and that can just kind of sit towards you. So this is basically the knot. Now the trick is to pull it off your fingers. So what I kind of do is just kind of slide it off, and I'll take thumb and index finger, first finger, on my left hand, and kind of hold the knot just in the middle, just to kind of hold everything together. And then I'll go through and I'm going to pull each one of these strings to tighten, and that's how the knot starts to take shape. So we'll pull these strings, and as you can see, the string on the caddy corner to the loop that you're pulling is the one that kind of controls that string. So just kind of keep pulling them tight here. See the knot starting to form. And what I do, kind of flip it to the side and kind of pinch it so that it's starting to get round. And then at this point what I do, go from my left hand, I flip it around to my right hand. I hold the knot on my right hand between my index finger, my first finger, and my thumb. And then I use my left hand to pull the knot tight. So I take each one of the 4 strings and just keep pulling and pinching that knot as we go, so that it's nice and round and tight. Just keep doing it till you think it looks just right. So it looks just like that. Okay, so let's do that. Let's do that one more time. So we're gonna open them up. Okay, so they got them all 4. Put it around your fingers, just like this. Okay, so we go under the second string to get to the first string, pull it underneath, and then we come around our first finger and drop it. Okay? And then we go between our thumb and our first finger. We come around, we go over the first string that's closest to the first finger, and we go under the second string. Under. And then we come around our middle finger like this. We go back to between the first and the second finger. There's a string that's sitting on top. We go over the string closest to the middle finger. We go under the second string, just like that. And then you come around your third finger and let it drop. So it looks just like this. And then you go, the last one for this round is between the second and third finger. You have one hanging on top. That comes around your third finger and then comes up in front of your index finger right here, just like this. Just kind of pull it up through and then let it fall right behind. Pull it nice and tight. Then we flip our hand back. We see our 2 loops. We want to pull the string up towards the knuckle on our finger on both of those loops. Pull everything tight again. Then pull the string between our third and our pinky finger around and come up through the loop between our thumb and the knot, right like that, and just let it fall, okay? And we slide the knots off our hand. Just kind of pinch the knot. Start pulling things real tight. And you want to get that second knot close to the first knot. That's what I try to pinch it right next to it. So pulling it nice and tight here. Kind of start to shape it. This is when I switch from my left hand to my right. I pinch so that these are right next to each other. I pinch this and I pull. Just keep pulling, okay? pinch it. See, you got 2 knots here. And then what I like to do is untie this slip knot. You don't really need it anymore. It's just to hold everything together, and that way your string doesn't get all discombobulated. So then you just repeat this process until you have 33 knots. So now we have our, oh, here comes Scout again. Now we have our bracelet with 33 knots, and what we're going to do is close off the bracelet. So as you can see, I've started on this side. What we do is we put a bead on, and then we do what we call a pinwheel. That's how we get this part over here. So I'll show you on this side. So what we do, kind of grab all of them together. We're just going to slide this right on. Whoops. This is just, you can use whatever kind of bead you want. This is a pony bead. You can put a plastic bead, or use a metal bead, or whatever your heart so desires, wooden beads. So, and then we'll, what we do is use our other tools here, and we pull together our knees to help us out with this. Pull that bead real nice and tight, and then we're gonna kind of spread everything out so we have a pinwheel here. As you can see, we have our strings all going their each own direction. So we start by making the pinwheel. Pull this across here, come around, pull it over here, cross over this way, then we take our 4th string across our 3rd string and into that first loop that we made, and then pull it tight, just like this. Oop. Make it nice and tight. Scout's here observing, making sure I do it right. So we do that again. We're going to do that 3 times on each side after you put the bead on. Am I doing it okay? Does it seem like it's all right? She's my quality control. So we have this. This is our 2nd one. Finish that one. Let's do our 3rd one. Right. Put it up here nice and tight. Make that little cross there. Alright, looks just like that. Okay, now what we want to do, we can see we have our bead and we have our three pinwheels on each side. We want to bring it around and connect it so that it starts to make the bracelet. So what I like to do is try to, you want kind of 2 strings from one side and 2 strings from the other. You want them to kind of match up. You'll see how they kind of match up here. And what I like to do is take 4 that kind of match up on one side, and I'll make a little slip knot so that I don't get everything all confused. So make a slip knot on that side. So I'm going to work with this side first, and we're going to make 2 pinwheels on each side, and that closes the sides of the cross. And then we do another 3 pinwheels for the crossbar. So we're doing the 2 pinwheels to close the side of the cross. So we lay it out like we would between our knees, and then make our little pinwheel here. Come around, right through there. Scout's just making sure I'm doing this okay. It look like it's all right. She's a pretty tough critic, but we got our first one. So we spread them out again, do our next pinwheel, come around, just like this. That's on the one side. So then I'll go ahead, like I said, I like to tie these with a little slip knot so I don't get them confused. Do that on that side. I'm going to turn over to the side we haven't done yet. Lay that out just like we did. Do 2 more pinwheels on this side. We'll undo our slip knot on the other side. And now we're going to do the ones that are actually going to make the crossbars come out and finish off the cross. So kind of smush that together. And then, as you can see, these kind of lined up. So the ones that are the 4 that are coming out this way, I'll kind of grab those and make a little slip knot. Just like that. And then I'm going to focus on the other side to do the crossbar. Go ahead. So just like before, but this time we're going to do 3. So we do 3 pinwheels on both sides, 2 pinwheels, and then 3 again. So we're on the second set of 3. And last time, go around, that pinwheel, go through the last loop. There we go. And what I'll do is I'll tie this again, just as I have said before. Make sure I don't get everything confused. Check out all the strings through there. Just pull it tight up against there. You can see that the cross is starting to take shape. And so I'll go ahead and do the 3 that's on this side. Alright, so the last step, you can see I finished the arm on the other side of the cross. So this is what it looks like. And then what you do, you can light a candle or you can take a lighter. And then what I like to do is just kind of, you'll pull these tight again and you'll hold them over, what I'll do is kind of hold 3 of them and hold the 3rd one over the flame until you're able to burn that piece off, and it'll kind of just give it a tension on it, and as the flame comes up it'll burn the rope, and it'll kind of come off. Be careful, it's very, very hot. It's basically like plastic, so as you burn that off and it pulls off, you can either tap it on a paper plate or on something, or if you wait just a second for it to cool, you can kind of tap it, and then you go around and you do that for each one of these 4 sides. So this would be gone. You'd hold those 2 and hold this tight and over the flame and burn it off all the way around until you get all 4 done. And then I like to take the end, we'll pretend that's all burnt off. I would take the end and just kind of hold it over the flame for just a minute, or actually just a second or 2, and then kind of tap it and bring it together so that it looks like kind of gets a completed edge. So, and that's it. That's how you tie a 4-string Chotki.